Well, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm joined today by Premier Mike Baird, and we're here to take you through and in fact give you an operational update, but particularly to announce a reward in a matter that has captured the hearts and the minds of the nation. I'm also joined by Detective Chief Inspector Gary Jubilan, who leads the operation, and as you are all aware, today is the second anniversary on the kidnapping of the little fellow William Tyrrell. Can I say by starting that today we've been heartened by the support from government, particularly Premier and the Deputy Premier, and I can announce to you that as of today there will be a $1 million reward for the safe return, in fact the return of this little boy. It is a unique announcement here in New South Wales. We've never had a $1 million reward ever before. That's 1 million reasons why somebody that's out there that knows what's happened should come forward and talk to us, and do it soon. I will hand over to the Premier for a few words, and then I'm going to hand you over to Inspector Jubilan. Can I say I'm very, very pleased with the way the investigation's going, in that the work that the police have done has been unending. They continue to invest into this investigation. The level of commitment is second to none. Inspector Jubilan will give you an update so you can find out exactly where we're up to, and then we'll come back and take some questions. I'll hand over to the Premier and then we'll come back for some questions after Inspector Jubilan. Thank you, Premier.
Thanks, Commissioner, and obviously delighted to be here with the Commissioner and Gary and the whole team that are involved in this investigation. 2 years ago today, the tragic disappearance of a young boy, William Tyrrell, event that tore that family apart, that community, indeed tore the hearts of everyone across this state, indeed nation. What we need to do is everything possible to bring William home, and that's what today is about. As the Commissioner announced, we are providing the largest ever award to bring back William to his family, to his community. Those $1 million, we hope, encourages anyone with any information to come forward to reunite William with his family. It's an incredibly difficult thing to watch as a parent. Every parent across the nation sits and is absolutely in the sense of deep grief with that family as we think about these terrible circumstances. I want to pay tribute to Gary and his team. We have the best police, I think, in the world. They're doing everything they possibly can to bring William home, and his team and the investigation underway is doing everything possible to do exactly that, and I want to pay tribute to them and their incredible efforts to bring William home. I also want to finally just thank the public. The public are providing information. They are doing everything they can to support the police to bring William home, and I want to thank them for it. There is a huge amount of community goodwill in terms of trying to support every single effort of this investigation, and everyone that's come forward, those that have marched in support to the family, and obviously that community, I want to thank them as well. And lastly, to the family, the Tyrrell family, our thoughts remain with them. A very difficult day today, but our hope on the back of the reward that is offered, a day that is a key moment in bringing William home.
It was on the 12th of September 2014 that 3-year-old William Tyrrell was abducted from his grandparents' home at Kendall. It's unacceptable that 2 years down the track we haven't found out what's happened to William. The purpose of the conference here today is not just to announce the reward, it's to outline what we've done in the past 2 years, give you details of the investigation, how we intend to use the reward, and what our future directions will be on this investigation. And it's very important that I dispel the perception, or possible perception, that the announcement of the reward is the situation that we've run out of lines of inquiry. This is a very proactive investigation. We've got numerous lines of inquiry, and we see the reward as another tool that we can use to find out what's happened to William. To give you an understanding of the magnitude of the investigation, it is the state's largest investigation. We've had over 2,800 reports to Crime Stoppers alone from members of the public providing information. We have a further 196 reports directly to the strike force. We've had 1,078 sightings of William Tyrrell. All this information has been followed up, and we've collated the information and created investigators' notes on it, which is currently in excess of 11,000 pieces of information we've got. We've collected 628 exhibits, and we've identified 690 persons of interest. Now again, I want to make it very clear that the fact that we've got so many persons of interest doesn't mean that we have no idea on what's happened. We've cast the net very wide on this investigation. The level of risk associated with the persons of interest vary. How we target those persons of interest vary. There's been some very public lines of inquiry that have played out in the media and in the public. We're doing that where a lot that the public are not aware of. As I stand here and speak, we're working on covert operations at this particular point in time. To address the numbers of persons of interest, the 690 persons of interest, we've increased the size of the strike force. We're now getting assistance. Roseanne is the name of the strike force run by the homicide. We've now created Roseanne 2, which provides assistance from other squads within State Crime Command. That includes the armed hold-up squad, the sex crimes, and also the fraud squad. We're also using local area commands to target these persons of interest. How we target them, I'm not going to go into methodology. It's covert, it's overt, all different ways, depending on the level of risk associated with those persons of interest. In regards to the reward, how we intend to use the reward, it is a very generous reward. It's the largest reward in New South Wales history, and I thank the government for supporting this investigation, the Premier and the Police Minister, who have seen the importance to the community that this crime is solved. We see this $1 million as a big tool, and this is how we're going to use it. If you've got information in regards to William's disappearance, and you've got concerns that you could be potentially complicit in the offence by concealing the offence, that offence will be negated the moment you come to police. So that's a big ticket item that you can consider if you have been sitting on this information. The other thing that you might be concerned of if you have this information is about your identity being revealed. I can guarantee personally that we can protect your identity, we can protect your safety. The thing that you might weigh up if you have got the information that you're sitting on, there is now $1 million a reason to come forward. Think about the possibility that, and I've talked about how proactively we're targeting this investigation. I'm confident in saying it's only a matter of time before we find out what's happened to William, and if we come to you, the offer of the reward is off the table. The other thing that you might consider, other people might have information about what's happened to William. They might come forward. The person responsible for abducting William will now have to look at the people they've confided in and think, well, there's a million reasons why they might betray you. So the pressure is on, and we're going to continue on pushing that. I'd also like to talk about the wording of the reward. The majority of rewards is upon the arrest and conviction of the crime. With this one, we've added another part to it. It's about the recovery of William. So the information that you've provided, if we can recover William, you have then a legitimate claim on the reward. But be confident that the reward is not the only strategy that we've got in place. With the sheer numbers and the sheer volume and the effort that we're putting into this investigation, we are confident we will find out, and we acknowledge that it's unacceptable 2 years down the track that we haven't solved this crime, but it doesn't mean that we're giving up. We're in fact rolling our sleeves up and going even harder on it.
Can I just, in wrapping this up, summarise what we've heard today? First and foremost, this investigation is not winding down. If anything, in fact, it's ramping up, which is really important. Secondly, as you've heard, with the announcement of a $1 million reward, there's a million good reasons to come forward. Third, there's a very, very good chance that we know who the offender is, or at least have the understanding of where this investigation may go. I think you've heard Gary say that you're better off to come to us rather than have us come to you. So here's the opportunity. And at this stage, in wrapping this up, I want to thank the public. I also want to thank the police for the work that they've done. And we're confident that we will get to the bottom of this sooner rather than later. And at this stage, with much work to be done, we're looking forward to the recovery of young William.